On the June 24 episode of Good Morning Britain, former Labour MP and GMB host Ed Balls found himself on the receiving end of a calm but firm rebuttal from Pat McFadden, Shadow Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, during a tense exchange over the government's defence spending pledge. The confrontation stemmed from Labour's recent promise to raise defence spending to 3% of GDP during the next Parliament. But questions were raised after the UK and its NATO allies agreed to boost defence budgets to 5% of GDP by 2035, following growing international tensions and U.S. military action in the Middle East. Citing comments from ex-Defence Secretary Ben Wallace, who accused the government of using smoke and mirrors to mislead the public and even Donald Trump, Balls questioned the credibility of the new pledge. He challenged McFadden directly, stating, "The reality is your defence spending pledge doesn't happen until 2035. There's no money set aside to pay for that rise after 2028. Economists say there's a £40 billion gap." Balls then asked the million-pound question. Is this going to be funded by raising taxes, or are you pulling it out of thin air? Is it just smoke and mirrors? But McFadden stood his ground, calmly pushing back. I respect Ben Wallace, but I must highlight a difference. When we committed to increasing defence expenditure to 2.5% of GDP, we also explained how we'd pay for it. That was never the case with the previous government. The exchange highlighted growing pressure on Labour to clearly explain how they plan to meet the ambitious defence spending targets while managing the broader economy. With an election looming and defence policy moving front and centre, the tension between media scrutiny and political messaging is intensifying. While Ed Balls tried to land a punch with his blunt "smoke and mirrors" line, McFadden's composed reply demonstrated Labour's strategy: stay measured, stick to the facts, and shift the spotlight back to the Conservatives' past record. This clash has already stirred debate on social media, with many viewers praising McFadden's clarity while others applauded Balls for pushing tough questions. As the political landscape heats up, one thing is certain: Good Morning Britain continues to be a key battleground for holding politicians to account, even when it means turning up the heat on former colleagues.